Hello and welcome to another episode of Nothing Definitive. My name is Sam Carlson, and today I want to talk about a little lesson I learned in regards to practicing meditation and pursuing enlightenment that I've learned recently. Okay, so back in the late winter, early spring of this year, I was really into meditating, and I was like locked up inside my mind thinking about things like all the time. And I kind of, it was really nice. I was very at peace. I was very, like, much happier than I normally was. Um, my meditation sessions were really deep, and it was really cool. I think I kind of took it for granted even at the time, because starting in like March or, well, probably more like, well, maybe March or April, I started to my practice started to decline a bit. I was doing it less often. I was still doing it quite a bit in March and April, but then it's really started to decline as late spring came about, and then this summer I've been doing it here and there, but it's been really irregular. And lately, well, actually, last week I went through this bout of like depression, kind of. I felt really like I was stressed out. I had like high anxiety. I hadn't been meditating. I felt just really crappy last week. And on Thursday I got really fed up. I'm like, this sucks. Like, I just feel bad. I feel terrible. So I said, after work, I went and I just said, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to meditate until I'm at least at some sort of neutral level. Like, I don't want to be so, like, feeling so much of this negative emotion. I'm just going to get myself back to a neutral level. So I did that and it worked fine. I felt a lot better after my meditation session. And since then, since that was like last Thursday, and it is now, it's now Thursday. I actually forgot like what day it was, but yeah. So it's been about a week, just slightly under actually, and I've been meditating a lot more over this past week, and I feel so much better than I did a week ago, like insanely better. And in fact, I'm right after this video, I'm planning on doing some more meditation, put on some really cool music, and just kind of like get lost back in that, that world of thought and relaxation and calmness and peacefulness. And it just changes everything so much. Well, anyway, this really specific thing I wanted to talk about today was that I was sitting last night meditating, and I was thinking about this. I'm like, wow, I feel so much different, so much better than I did just a week ago, or pretty much all summer. I mean, all summer I've been just kind of like thinking about work and how to, make ends meet and projects to get done and stress and all that stuff. All of a sudden it just evaporates. I mean, the responsibilities are still there, and I still handle all my obligations and all that stuff, but now with the meditation intermixed, by forcing myself to spend a bit more time doing it, I feel way, way better. And I was sitting there, I'm like, this is so crazy how different it is. I like in the spring, I felt like I was in a different world almost. Like right now, I feel so real. Like I feel so. The words I used was, I feel like my feet are just really on the ground. And it just occurred to me because I read once that people who feel enlightened, and I'm not saying I was ever enlightened or anything like that. I feel like that would have been way too easy for me to get there already. But like when I look back on the spring, I feel like I was kind of in that state where I was like, it's almost like you're almost just like you're floating. They talk about like they're almost just like walking on air, like a foot above the ground or something. And that never like made sense to me. And even at the time when I read that, I was like in that state of mind, but I didn't really notice it. But now in comparison, it actually makes sense. Like there was such a different feel about how I interpreted the world and myself in it. Like as of right now, or like a week ago, um, I I felt, it's even hard to describe. Like, I just feel so much more like I'm in the world, like real. It's so hard to describe. Like the yeah the I really can't think of a good word besides just I feel like I'm totally in the world, real, like in its problems, um, that sort of thing. But when you're meditating a lot and you're in that other realm, kind of that state of mind, it's like you're floating. It's like you're just so carefree, so calm and at peace. You're just, I don't know. It's crazy. It's difficult to describe, but it's amazing, really. And the other thing I noticed too is that I'm a lot less aware right now than I was back then. Like I would like walk around and be like much more aware of my environment and what I was doing. Lately I've been feeling like way more clumsy. I've been feeling like I'm just kind of like my body is just kind of doing things without me being like totally in control of it. And it's actually really noticeable. Like I don't know, it's I just keep making like little mistakes or bump, like I'll bump into something or like one thing I read once is like be aware of like how hard you open a door, or even something as simple as that. Like most people will just like punch through a door basically and just like rush through because they're all like wired up and stuff like that. But like someone who's really aware, they just like carefully and gently open the door, and they carefully do things because they take notice, and everything's just calm and that sort of rhythm, I guess. And I like just lately I've completely just like lost all that because I wasn't doing any of my practices, or I was, but like not nearly as much. Um, so anyway, now I'm getting back into it, and I'm super excited about it because it just feels so much better. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. Thank you very much for listening as always, and see you next time.